What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, Joey Garcia, and today we are getting into the Indianapolis Colts 2023 NFL Draft. Um, we're working through all the picks, all the teams. Right now, we are at the AFC South, the last conference of the AFC, and then we'll be getting over to the NFC starting next week. So tune in for that as well. Let's get started, though. The first round, their fourth overall pick, they got Anthony Richardson, the quarterback from Florida. I gave this pick a B. I like it. Again, C plus is an average pick. I think this was a little bit more than average. I like him. 6'4", 245 pounds. Super freaky. He's got really good IQ, not just football IQ. He's a smart kid. And a bazooka of an arm, honestly. I think the only person in college football that had a stronger arm than him would be Joe Milton from Tennessee, who's going to get the start this year, it looks like, at Tennessee since Hendon Hooker was picked. So, again, super strong arm, super freak athlete. It's Vince Young meets Cam Newton meets Michael Vick, basically. Yeah. It's like if Reggie Bush was inside of Tim Tebow's body. Um, that's that's kind of what it felt like watching him play. So super dynamic athlete. He struggles with inaccuracies. He also struggles with throwing softer balls. It seems like everything comes out of his hand as fast as it can. And he was injured a lot. His 2 years of playing, even 1.5 years of playing at Florida, he just it seems like there was always something. He'd always pull a hamstring. Maybe it was something he was nursing from the beginning of the season and it just never healed. But there was a hamstring, there was a shoulder, his knee buckled at one point. There was just always something. He didn't stay out of games, but he was always hampered with some kind of injury. So that's something to look out for. Second round pick, they took Julius Brent. This says quarterback, obviously not quarterback. He's a cornerback from Kansas State. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He's got really long arms. He's a physical guy. He's a press zone corner, so more of like a cover three press cornerback. You can run a cover two with him. He kind of does struggle in man. That's something that you might be able to help kind of teach him. Don't know who they have on that roster that can kind of help him with that. That might be something that he just doesn't have the hip quickness to work on man. But again, a really good zone corner, and I think they're gonna benefit a lot. This is it's gonna remind you a little bit of Tariq Woolen last year. I think is what he's gonna do. Except obviously, people are gonna be ready for it. Third round pick. They got Josh Downs, wide receiver from North Carolina. This is one of my favorite wide receivers in this class. Obviously, you've got the four first round wide receivers. He's probably my favorite wide receiver that was not selected in the first round. He's 5'9", 170 pounds, but he's super explosive. He has a little bit of drop issues and he's small, but he's the closest thing to Kadarius Toney since Kadarius Toney, I feel like. He's super twitched up. Everything's just super twitched up. He's explosive. I guess I was about to say Calvin Austin was kind of that way as well last year. He's the Kadarius Toney of this class, I think. He's going to be someone that is not going to have a lot of production his rookie year, but he's going to make splash plays. So look out for that. Fourth round pick, 106. They took Blake Freeland, tackle from BYU. This guy's super big, 6'8", 302 pounds. I think they're going to put some weight on him too. He's a guy that I think you can put 15 more pounds on him and it won't hinder him at all. It'll actually make him stronger. He moves really well in the run game. He's a guy that can clean up inside gaps on a pin and pull. Just crushes three techniques. Can get up to the second level as well. He knows where to place his hands to get controlling leverage on guys is always good. The only thing is in pass protection, his footwork is a little slow, a little sloppy. I think it has something to do with his hips. His hips aren't strong enough because it just seems like they're also stiff as well. So that's something maybe if they get someone to train him. I think he just needs hip explosiveness worked on for him. All right. I was hoping we skipped this pick. Adetomiwa Adebawe. Yeah, that's pretty good. Adetomiwa Adebare. Yeah, something like that. Defensive tackle from Northwestern. I apologize for getting his name wrong. That's a tough one. Um, I gave this grade an A minus. I thought he would be a second round pick. I don't know why he lasted all the way to pick 110, but he's 6'2", 282 pounds, and he's twitched up, man. For a 280-pound guy, his first step is so explosive. He's versatile in the alignment, so he could probably, I think, probably go to a 3-eye all the way down to the guard. I don't think he can get to a 2, but maybe you could squeeze him in there on pass rush. Um, but again, he can play multiple. I think he's a guy who's honestly got quick twitch enough where you could put him out to end at certain situations. So I like this guy a lot. I think he's going to get day one reps with the first team. Fifth round pick, another steal. I think the Indianapolis Colts had one of my favorite drafts of this entire draft class. They took Darius Rush, the cornerback from South Carolina. I gave this an A, man. This is a third. Again, this is a guy who's a third rounder, just because he doesn't have man coverage skills, but he's an elite zone coverage guy. He's long enough where you can press him against people, and his instincts, and just always being around the ball. It seems like every single time someone's getting tackled on the outside, he's always there. He's not the best tackler, but he's a willing enough tackler, and he's always around the ball. This was a great pick. Again, I think he's another guy. As a fifth rounder, I think he's a guy that's going to get starting time, and if not, he's going to get heavy rotational corner for them. This pick, again, I like this pick as well. I just thought it was a little early, and I understand why they did it, is because I don't think they have another pick until the 7th. Okay, no, no, they've got some other fifth-round picks. I was thinking about a sixth-round pick is where he should be. They picked him a little early. Daniel Scott, safety from Cal. I like this guy. He's 6'1", 210 pounds. He's got really good hips, fluid hips, and he's explosive as well. He can play in the nickel just because of how fluid and quick-twitched he is, where he can guard some of these fast guys that can go outside routes, inside routes, up the seam, comeback routes. I think he's good enough where he can do all that. The only thing is, at nickel, he is a little bit of a poor tackler, but he can play nickel. He could play up top safety. He could play too high. He's not going to play in the box, but he's got a couple positions he can play, and I think that they're ready to use him in all those ways. He is 25 years old, so that is another knock on him, but I do like this guy. I gave it a C just because I felt like it was a little too early, but Daniel Scott is one of my favorite non-top 100 safeties in this class. This pick, I didn't really understand that much. I thought it was I don't know. I thought this was more of a 7th rounder type pick. This is where it kind of falls off for me. Will Mallory, the tight end from Miami. He's 6'5", 240 pounds. He's got good hands, but he can't really block that well. He's not athletic enough for you to ask him to run routes downfield. He's someone that's going to get tight end pop pass every once in a while, put him out in the flats for like a read option with an RPO pass element. But that's about it. I don't really see this guy being anything other than a tight end 2, tight end 3. He doesn't have special teams ability. I don't know. That's my pick. I should have been harsher. I should have given it a D something, but that's all right. This pick. I love this player. Evan Hull, the running back from Northwestern. They picked him at pick 178. I gave it a B minus. I wanted to give it more, but I didn't give. Who was the other running back I was talking about a week ago? Man. Someone else picked a running back in this range, and I like that. Deuce. No, it wasn't Deuce Vaughn. I don't remember who it was, but someone that I think is a better running back that was picked in this range. I only gave them a B minus as well, or maybe I gave them a B, and so I couldn't. But He's 5'10", 210 pounds. Got really good vision. Um, but it's funny. He's not a great athlete. He's just an average athlete. His change of direction is kind of he rounds off when he's changing direction. It's not quick cuts or anything like that. But he's got good hands. I put it down here somehow makes guys miss. Just because it's I wish I had tape that I could show you guys right now. Um, he just kind of like slowly slows down and moves to the side, and guys fly past him trying to hit stick him, and just it's one of the funnier things ever. If you miss a tackle on Evan Hull, you look like the stupidest fool ever. You're not going up against Kadarius Toney or Tyreek Hill or Zay Flowers or Josh Downs of this draft class or any of those kinds of guys where they can stick their foot in the ground and go from 100 miles per hour to zero and then turn right back around and accelerate again. No, this guy he's like an old pickup truck trying to make turns and trying to stop for stoplights, and his brakes are a little bad. But he makes guys miss. I don't know how it is. This is the funniest tape I've ever watched. And I don't say that to make fun of him. I think he's going to be a good number 2 running back at the next level. But it's just funny. It is just so funny to watch. He somehow makes guys miss. All right, so now with the 7th round pick, they got Titus Leo. He's a linebacker from Wagner. I didn't know of this guy. I had to go try to look up some of his tape, and I found some stuff on YouTube, but I couldn't really find that much of his tape. But from what I saw, 6'4", 245 pounds, he's really explosive on the first step. He's kind of I heard they're gonna ask him to play more edge, and kind of like a walk down edge on pass rush situations. But from what I've seen, is he was purely a Mike at Wagner. Occasionally walked down on the edge, but he was mostly a Mike linebacker there. He's got good balance when going up against blocks and shedding blocks. His pad level, he keeps at a pretty good level as well. But again, I think he's going to be asked to do positions he's never done before. And it's going to be interesting. I'm very intrigued of Titus Leo. He's going to be one of the guys that I'm really watching on the Indianapolis Colts and just figure out if he makes the roster. So he's someone I'm excited to watch in preseason. They've got a couple more 7th round picks. Wow, they've got a lot of picks, man. Jalen Jones, the cornerback from Texas A&M, A+. I am not, again, he's a guy, I'm not really sure why he lasted this long either. I thought he'd be a 5th round pick, a 4th round pick maybe, because he's a long cornerback. He's 6'2", 205. He's long, he's physical. Yes, he's a zone corner that doesn't always know exactly where he's going, if that makes sense. He kind of, there's sometimes that he just gets confused and drops to space and doesn't really follow receivers. But for the most part, he's a physical corner. He's going to press guys. He can play cover 3 for you. And I don't know. I liked him. I thought he was a guy that was going to go in the middle rounds. And this is a good corner class, and I thought he was going to be going a little higher than this. So I don't know. I gave it an A+. I think he's a good grade, though. This was another one that was kind of hard to find tape on. Jake Witt, offensive tackle from Northern Michigan. He's 6'7", 305 pounds. I don't think he's a true 305. I think he's probably around 290. He just looks so skinny. He's super raw. He moves like a tight end because he was a basketball player. He's only played 13 games. I think he's only played 17 games total and only 13 at offensive line, and he was moved around a bunch of spots and everything like that. And he didn't start every single game on offensive line. But he's got really good feet. And again, it's because he was a basketball player. And he's also super light. This is a developmental guy. I don't know if you'll see him in the next 2 years. But I do like this pick. He's super raw. If they can develop him, this could be a really good steal for them. You think Jordan Mailata, the left tackle for the Eagles, when he was drafted in, I think, the 5th round as a rugby player and was taught how to play. This is a little different because, again, he's probably 285, 290 pounds. But it's the same premise. So, and that's it. All right. If you guys would go ahead and smash the like button down there, it just helps spread the word to other people. Go ahead and leave a comment if you think I'm stupid and don't know what I'm talking about. Other than that, I appreciate you guys stopping by and see you in the next one. Peace.